As every year, October means Halloween, or should I say Hallow's End in World of Warcraft. And to celebrate the occasion, I wanted to talk about what I believe is the scariest quest in the game. Honestly, I didn't expect to stumble upon this kind of quests, especially since it's based on real-life characters, but more about that at the end of the video. So grab your tea, light a candle, hit the subscribe button, and without further ado, let's dive into the dark and mysterious region of Drustvar. This zone is already well known for its creepy quests, but one stands out even more disturbing than the rest. If you head to the village of Glenbrook, you might encounter a little girl, all alone, singing about the fate of our village.
Our poor little village is dead. All the people have gone stiff or fled. There is no more noise, except me and my toys, just like all the dark birdies said.
Feeling lonely, she asked the adventurers to help her find her playmates, and that's when things take a dark turn. As the adventurers explore the area, they discover the former townsfolk of Glenbrook, and at every step, Abby narrates how each of them met their end.
Sam kept his farm well tended. To livestock he was kind. Into the woods Sam vanished. Now who will tend his swine? Mr. Hayes was said to have a soul so sweet and nice. How sad the kind man's heart became a witch's sacrifice. Miss Mary turned her back on us while seeking wicked power. She brought death upon our village, turned the forest dark and dour. The Dark Ones called to Annie, but from evil she refrained. No surprise to anyone, she ended up in chains. Mr. Hawthorne was always trying to keep the doggies away from his animals, but now the doggies can finally have supper. Naughty Mayor Striggs, always running away from your responsibilities to the townsfolk. Well, you can't run anymore.
Then they arrive at a cave, where they find the unresponsive Annie Warren. But before understanding what's going on, Abby reappears and asks them to follow her. With all our playmates gathered, it's finally time for a dark tea party. The adventurer, now sit in the middle of a symbol drawn on the ground, is suddenly attacked by a wicker hound. Satisfied with the outcome, Abby disappears, leaving the adventurer to their fate. The adventurer survives and later meets Annie, who reveals that the villagers thought Abby had died a long time ago. Now, this quest already has creepy vibes, but the things get even darker when you realize that many of the characters around Abby Lewis could be based on real-life people from the Salem Witch Trials. The Salem Witch Trials were a series of prosecutions in colonial Massachusetts, where over 200 people were accused of witchcraft, leading to 20 executions. Sparked by fear, superstition, and community tensions, the trials were fueled by accusations from young girls showing strange behavior. Today, they are a remembering as a tragic case of mass hysteria and injustice. Abby Lewis might be a reference to Abigail Williams, one of the main accusers during the Salem Witch Trials. Much like Abby, Abigail played the role of an innocent girl, but her accusations led to the conviction and execution of many people for witchcraft. Let's now take a look to Samuel Haythorne, a character in the quest who might be a reference to John Hathorne, one of the strictest judges during the Salem Witch Trials. Unlike other figures, such as Samuel Sewall, who expressed regret after the trials, Haythorne never showed remorse. Interestingly, his descendant, Nathaniel Haythorne, the famous author, changed the spelling of his name to distance himself from the dark chapter of his family history. So, the character of Samuel Haythorne could be a mix between Samuel Sewall and Nathaniel Hawthorne to reference the Salem Witch Trials.
Mr. Hawthorne was always trying to keep the doggies away from his animals, but now the doggies can finally have supper.
Next, there's Mayor Striggs, the mayor who ran away from his responsibilities. This could be a nod to William Stoughton, also known as Striggs, the Lieutenant Governor of Massachusetts who presided over the special court during the trials.
Naughty Mayor Striggs! Always running away from your responsibilities to the townsfolk. Well, you can't run anymore.
And what about Miss Mary? Her name might echo Mary Eastie, one of the women hanged for witchcraft during the trials. In the quest, Miss Mary is described as seeking power, similar to the accusations made against her in Salem.
Miss Mary turned her back on us while seeking wicked power. She brought death upon our village, turned the forest dark and dour.
Finally, there's a possible reference to Samuel Wardwell, a farmer and carpenter who was hanged after initially confessing under pressure, a bit like the character of Sam, a farmer who was hanged as well.
Sam kept his farm well tended. To livestock he was kind. Into the woods Sam vanished. Now who will tend his swine?
The chain of quests surrounding Little Abby is already pretty creepy, but when you add those potential historical references, it becomes even more terrifying. A lot of work went into the creation of this video, so don't hesitate to leave a like, a comment and subscribe. And on that note, I wish you all a happy Hallows End.